action. Today we got AAR versus GGG. It's going to be a pretty spicy one. This is their makeup game from week, I believe 8. Let's see here. Oh, that reminds me. I need to change the... I believe this is their week game, week 8 makeup game. AAR versus GGG. Boom. And I'm pretty sure this is their makeup game for week 8. So, and then AAR play or GG play. I'm not sure. No, this isn't their makeup game. My bad. I was thinking of different teams. This is just AAR versus GGG. My bad, guys. My bad. Yeah. So we should be heading in the champ select here soon, or into draft here soon. They have the lobby set up, so we should be starting. This is gonna be a pretty spicy game, I think. GGG is near the top of the group. Their group and AAR are, I believe, not even in their group. So this is an out of group game. So it doesn't mean much, but still, it's going to be pretty spicy. Got that set up. Make sure I'm doing everything right. And we should be starting here. Everyone readied up. Wait. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Elias. I used to be a player in the league, but now due to some health issues and concerns, I primarily just cast and sub. So, all right, bands coming out. We do got the Zed band coming out against Scoobs. Don't know him to be much of a Zed player. I guess I've never really seen him play Zed. I do know his Azir is pretty much feared, though, so I would expect a ban of that. Rumble coming out against the Josh. Tom Kench against Aloe. That one's pretty self-explanatory. He really favors that champion in these games. Same going for Josh with the Rumble. Two very solid picks for two players. Tristana coming out against Kirbyus. Pretty standard. Pretty standard bands coming out so far. Kirbyus has a nasty Tristana. The Bidoof bot lane is definitely one to be feared if they get on their comfortable champions. And we got... I just want to make sure this is working right. It looks like it is. And there's the Azir against Scoops. That one is to be expected. The guy is amazing on that champion. Very much a comfort pick for him. And the Camille coming out against Peach Aku. Another standard ban. I think that's his most played champion in this league so far is Camille. And he's had a pretty spectacular showing on it. Camille in general as a champion has just been dominating the league in the top lane. Ezreal coming out for Kirbyus, pretty standard pick. Ezreal has been a really highly contested champion in the beer league this season. Insane stats on the champion all across different teams. Ziggs coming out, I'm assuming for Reese Race. I know Scoops does play Ziggs as well, but I also know that Reese really prefers the champion in the bot lane, so I would expect that to be in the bot lane to contest the Ezreal. Question is what are they going to pair up with these two ADCs? We got Xin Zhao coming out for Trooper. One of his comfort picks. surprised he didn't go for the Volibear. The Volibear was left open, so I'm actually really surprised that it wasn't picked up by Trooper. Excuse me. So the Galio coming out for Josh. Um, his two champions, Rumble and Galio. Typically, if one's not banned, he'll pick one of them. If one's banned, the other isn't, he'll pick the other one. So, to be expected coming out. That also could be Galio support, so it is a flex pick. Flex picks are always strong. You can always get a counter matchup. And it looks like it will be Josh in the mid lane with the Blitzcrank support on Bidoof. Interesting combination in the bot lane there. Ezreal does dish out a lot of damage at almost every stage of the game, but he doesn't have that like early level burst that you'd want with the Blitzcrank. So maybe he does. His level 3 damage is pretty strong. And the Morgana coming out against the Blitzcrank. So Vermilion on the Morgana. I'm assuming that's Reese Race on the Ziggs. It would be a pretty strong matchup. You can buffer the Blitzcrank hook with a satchel. But if Bidoof like does it well, he can just walk up and hit him with his fists and then just rocket grab him once he lands. The Malphite will be coming out as a ban against Peter, Pichiku. So I don't think, in terms of the bot lane draft here, I don't think anyone really has that big of a advantage. The side of GGG, the bot lane is actually really squishy. So if Blitzcrank gets any hook on anybody, they're pretty much just dead. So I would expect Vermilion to try and face tank these hooks, these rocket grabs with his Black Shield. It's really hard to preemptively Black Shield against a Blitzcrank because they can just go for the other target, especially in a lane like this when they're both super squishy. So I would expect him to try and face tank it, like get in front of Reese with his Black Shield. And the Wukong ban does come out against Aloe. They return with an Ornn ban against Pichiku. So 3 of Pichiku's main champions are banned. So I'm curious to see what they're going to put him on. That will be the Cassiopeia coming out against Scoobs as well. Another pretty strong pick that's been seeing a lot of high priority in the past few weeks. So I'm interested to see what Pichiku goes with here. It will be the Veigar coming out for Scoobs. Interesting pick, honestly. Don't really see a lot of Veigars. So, interesting to see what they can do. It looks like they have a pretty strong pick comp coming out here. Veigar usually maxes his E second. Since his W has a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you get items and you get stacks, your W is always going to do damage. So most Veigars max their E second. So it goes down to I think it's like a 6-second cooldown with like a 2-second stun in a giant AoE cage. So they have a pretty strong pick comp, but the side of AAR is going for the beefcakes. They're going for these survivability against the picks. You can't really burst 3 of these champions down. You pretty much have to get a pick on the Ezreal, but then Blitzcrank can get a pick of his own if you commit to trying to kill the Ezreal. So I really like AAR's comp so far into GGG. But let's see what GGG has to answer with. A Darius. I think that is the first Darius we see in Beer League. so far, and it is coming out of Aloe. Oh, I just realized my. There we go. So you can see the bands. It is coming in for Aloe. Darius is one of the original like tank busters. His physical damage penetration on his E, which you max second. I think at max rank is like 25%. So he is one of the original damage busters, because you pretty much can either go Triforce or Gore Drinker. It used to be Stridebreaker, but now that Stridebreaker doesn't launch you forward, you don't really see much of those anymore. And so it's typically either Gore Drinker or Triforce. I think you can probably get away with building a Divine Sunderer on Darius. You're just kind of missing out. Like, I guess the magic penetration doesn't really matter, because you still get 5% physical penetration. But you go Black Cleaver. Now, Black Cleaver is so strong on Darius simply because you literally just have to land one auto, and the bleed will tick the Black Cleaver procs, and that will shred their armor by 25, or I think it goes up to 30 now, 30%. So if he lands one solid Q, that's 30% armor reduction for the entire team. Unfortunately, the only person that can really benefit from that is Xin Zhao and Darius himself. I would expect to see quite a bit of magic resist coming out of the side of AAR, simply because the Vigar and the Ziggs will deal massive amounts of damage going into the mid to late game. You kind of have your anti-mage in Galio. Not as strong of an anti-mage as most other anti-mages, but Galio is pretty strong as a team fight oriented champion. So I would expect AAR to go for these team fights, to try and force into the mid to late game. Their early game is pretty safe, I'd say, with the Ezreal, with the Blitzcrank, with the Galio. Pretty safe early game. Nothing really much to sneeze at there. Side of GGG, they kind of went the opposite direction with it. They kind of hold up. I thought I deleted all that. My apologies. They kind of went with the early game strat. So they picked a super aggressive early game jungler in Xin Zhao. They picked a pretty lane dominant ADC in Ziggs. Just shove in the wave, keep it pressured, keep them under tower, try to get that first blood tower gold that Ziggs is so well known for getting. They picked the Darius, which is a super strong lane bully, even into massive tanks like Mundo. Unfortunately, Mundo did not receive his buff yet. That is next patch. So I'm curious to see how the Mundo will do into a Darius. Typically, Darius wins in matchups against tanks. So I think... One second. I think someone dodged the champ select. So I think Darius does just kind of flat out win that matchup. I don't know. It's really hard to say who wins this game. In terms of sheer like beefiness and team fight, I'd kind of side with the side of AAR, but GGG has a pretty strong comp of their own. They have a pretty strong pick comp. If one person lands an ability, pretty much all the other abilities will fall in line. So I don't know. But again, going back to what I said, most of the side of AAR, four members of the side of AAR, you can't just insta kill like that, you know. So I think AAR drafted better. I think their draft is better. I would have liked to seen someone other than the Blitzcrank, who like who brings a little bit more to these team fights, and a little bit more utility than he provides. He does have a giant AoE silence. He does have a knockup. He does have a hook, but there's such long cooldowns. Obviously, besides his ult actually has a very low cooldown in terms of an ult, but everything else is just such long cooldowns that it doesn't bring much to the team, especially like those are massive cooldowns too. So if Blitzcrank does miss a hook, GGG can look for the fight, because that's a 12-second cooldown, and that's a huge CC that the AAR doesn't have. But AR also have the side of the Galio Jarvan, a classic combo. Jarvan goes in, locks down 3-4 of them, and Galio just gets on top of them. If the side of GGG if AR plays around GGG's sums, they can easily turn all of these fights into an advantage for them, simply because of that just CC chain. So J4 EQ all Galio all with the massive taunt on all the members stuck inside Jarvan's Cataclysm. And then Ezreal just dishing out all the damage from the backline will easily turn these fights over to the side of AAR. But that is also a lot of variables, so it's a lot of execution that needs to take place almost perfectly. So I think GGG's comp is a little bit more straightforward. Land a hook with Darius, land a cage with Veigar, land a bind with Morgana, and pick out one person out of AAR, try to burst them down as hard as they can, and then look for the 5v4. And that's kind of GGG's composition. I would expect GGG to pay a lot of attention to the mid and the top lane this game, simply because their mid and top laners have the resources to set up these fights. So Darius has his hook. The Veigar has his cage. Once you put someone in a cage, that cage lasts for I think it's 3 seconds. So you just have to run around the cage and let Xin Zhao just walk up to you, or you flash out. But then when you come back to lane, or if you stay in lane, a repeat gank will just actually end it all for you. I'm looking at the champ select queso, and it is Reese on the Ziggs. Hold on. I believe the Mundo MR was removed, by the way. When they did his rework. Excuse me. But yeah, I going back to it, I honestly think that if AAR can pull off their team composition effectively, they win. Wow, that was loud. Because staunch the early game bleeding that is bound to happen with GGG's comp, and just play into the mid to late game as AAR. Use your team fight strength, get Ezreal on his 2-item power spike, and you guys will win the game. AAR will win the game. If GGG can cause that bleeding in the early game, use their early game champions like Darius, like Xin Zhao, like Ziggs, and gain a formidable lead, then GGG can win this game just by sheer momentum of their champions. So I think it's going to be a really spicy one, honestly. I think both teams drafted pretty well. Some things I would have changed. If I had it my way, like if it was my team, I probably wouldn't have picked a Vigar. I do like Vigar in certain situations, but I think there are so many other control mages that do exactly that with more utility. Primarily Orianna. I think Orianna is super underrated. She's always valuable. I would probably thrown that in instead of the Vigar. And I would choose something outside the Blitzcrank. Maybe a Leona, Thresh, something like that. Since Thresh was left open. So those are the two things I would change, but not my teams. But it looks like we are about to head in here. All right. Switch this over. All right, well, one thing that's nice to look at is the masteries. So you do see masteries all across the board on the side of AAR there. You do see masteries all across the board on the side of GGG. So we did get some comfortable picks. This is Cody's Smurf account, so he's not going to have mastery points on it. But yeah, so a lot of people on their on pretty strong comfort picks. So I expect this game to be pretty spicy. We are loading in here. Let's set up here. We got that, and that. Let's turn on objective timers. There we go. All right. All right, so AAR going for the cheesy Blitzcrank invade. Reese is really not in position here. Ooh. Bidoof didn't really take the hook. I would have shot one blankly. Like you should. I think you should have just shot one blankly. With that small area, the chances of hitting someone blind is about, I would say about 30%. So just take that shot. And that would have been a free first blood. Once you see that ward go down, just shoot a hook over the wall. If it misses, it misses. You know, if it lands, then you get a kill. Or you blow a flash. Either or. But nice try coming out of AAR. When you see it, everyone knows the old wise tale. If you see a Blitzcrank, an invade is bound to follow. That's just how it is. It looks like Reese and Vermilion will stall going to lane, as well as AAR is stalling to go into lane as well. So, and both junglers are starting topside. Neither of them know that they're both starting topside. Let's see if either one of these guys tries to vertical jungle here. And I just noticed that is Trooper in the mid lane on Vigar. Scoobs in the jungle on Xing Zhao. So a little bit of a roster swap there, or position swap going down for the side GGG. Ziggs and Ezreal just doing Ziggs and Ezreal thing. He's just trying to farm up. I think the bot lane GGG might have wanted to try to push a little bit harder to get that level 2. Just to guarantee like the black shield. You know, you get the black shield first. Nice bind coming out of Vermilion to get some damage down. Ezreal being chunked to half. And Stoverate holding his own in the mid lane here against a ranged matchup. Looks like Aloe has the slight advantage, but in the top lane against Pichiku. Hello does land the Q, but he decides not to go for more. He did have his hook up, so I'm surprised he didn't go for it. And it looks like Scoobs is looking to vertical jungle. But Cody is on the other side of the map. They're both taking the scuttle. Cody has a ward on their blue buff. Knows that Scoobs has not yet been there. And he looks like he will try and go for the steal here. But Scoobs will be there soon. Will Cody be able to take it out quick enough? I think he will. Scoobs is going a long way, but Bidoof is coming up to reinforce. Very nicely done by Cody. Ooh. Cody does miss, but Cody is level 4. Very, very nicely done by Trooper there to get that cage. Cody is low. The bind does go down on the Blitzcrank. Are they looking to fight this one? They are. Scoobs goes in. Gets the knockup. This might be Bidoof going down. Reese knocks him back in. Nice bind coming out of Vermilion. The final hook from Blitzcrank coming out. Scoobs looking for more. Stoverade is here, though. Gets a very nice 3-man taunt. Nice hook to try and delay the Stoverade there, but does not land. Trooper picks up the kill. Oh, Trooper killed the Jarvan. And then it looks like Darius got the kill on the Galio. Very nicely done. From the side of GGG, collapsed on that. Cody got a little greedy there after taking the blue buff, just trying to go for more. And ended up getting himself and 2 other members of his team killed because of it. And I think that is always a really dangerous play, because when you're in the enemy jungle, obviously they're going to be able to react. A nice reaction, Black Shield coming out Vermilion. They're going to be able to rotate quicker to you. So that was a really ballsy play on the side of Cody. He did have a level advantage, but he missed his EQ, which is a huge initial burst of damage. And if you miss that, it kind of feels bad, because 1, you don't get the armor shred for your passive proc, and 2, you just use your mobility, you're all in, and missed. So very nicely done on the side of GGG. It looks like Cody is going again, but Scoobs will just pick up his Raptors and fall out. Good ward coverage in the bot lane here on the side of AAR. 2 wards in the bot brushes. You got the pink ward and the try. Very nice coverage. Yeah, look at all these wards on the side of AAR. They definitely know that Vision wins these games. Very nice initiation coming out, Cody. Verm will get the stun, and he will have to flash out. Trooper with a nice stun as well, allowing him to do so. So Pichiku holding his own in the top lane here. He does have teleport advantage as well, but he is still down CS even though Aloe TP'd and got a kill. So Aloe is quite a bit up right now. Ooh, nice arcane shift to dodge the Morgana binding. Good reactionary timing coming out of Kirbyus. And Pichiku has the best Mundo skin in the TPA. Just chucking the trophies, hearing the clunks. I think Owl is being a little too passive here. I guess he does have... the Mundo does have an item advantage. So... And it looks like Cody is trying to snake the dragon here. And Scoobs is on the other side of the map, so this dragon will fall to the side of AAR. There's about 500 gold lead for the side GGG, all because of that fight, where they went 3 for 1. It looks like Scoobs will clean out the top side of Jarvan's jungle. Jarvan is on his way now, though, so if Scoobs tries to go for this If Scoops tries to go for this Gromp as well, he might just run into Jarvan. But it looks like he is backing out. Pichiku clearing out the pink ward. Oh, Scoops is in trouble here. Josh is looking. Ooh, very nicely done by Josh Stoverade there. He avoided the He avoided the chains and has got a double taunt. It will be 1-for-1. Trooper picking up one, and Mundo picking up the other. Aloe is here, but pretty late. The Mundo passes stops the stun. Very nice dunk coming out of Aloe. He does get the full passive proc, and this will be another dunk. Very nicely done by Aloe to follow up on that. Ooh, the Vygar cage does not catch Stoverade. And Aloe still is full stacks. That bleed just might take down Stoverade. And it looks like not. A lot of damage though. Fully stacked Darius's bleed does a lot of damage. So Cody was pretty much in trouble when he locked himself in. Ooh, Pichiku, knowing what his champion does, the Mundo passive stops the CC coming out. Oh, nice sidestep from Trooper. This will be Pichiku going down. Vermilion is here as well to back up. Nicely done by the side GGG. Very nice rotations. Wow. The thought from Pichiku there was, my passive will stop the CC from the cage, and I can run down this Vygar. But the Vygar had such nice footwork, dodged both of the important cleavers coming out of Mundo there, and was able to stall for his team to get there to secure the kill. Nicely done by Trooper. But do try and predict the satchel jump. Not quite there, though. Ooh, Bidoof going in, but it doesn't look like the Morgana binding landed. It looks like another fight going down here. Nicely done by Cody and Stoverade. Good combo. Oh, and the Morgana binding goes down. Oh, nice sidestep coming out of Reese Race. Again, dodges two really big abilities. Wow. The footwork coming out of GGG this game is absolutely astounding. Oh, very nicely done. Will this be another kill? It looks like it might. Oh, just misses. Nicely done by Trooper. And going back, the footwork out of Reese Race in the bot lane there to dodge the hook, to dodge the Ezreal ult. Very nicely done. Aloe pushing in. It looks like he will be going towards the Gore Drinker. I think Divine Sunder would have been fine in this matchup, but Cody going ham. Oh man, his ult is back up already. The heal coming out. Nicely done by Cody. So Cody's tiny, trying to claw his team's way back into this game. GGG had some astounding plays in the early game here, doing exactly what they needed to do. The gold lead isn't quite there where I think it should be in order for them to progress into the mid game ahead, but they still have a gold lead. It's about 1K, which honestly isn't too bad for this point in the game. Why, thank you, Jello Destroyer. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate it. And Troop is a god. Scoob's going for the fight here. Aloe is here to back up, though. And it looks like Pichiku will just walk out of this one. Will he get the... Oh, he will! Very nicely done. Very nice W coming out of Scoob's there to slow down the Mundo. And this bot lane going about the way I'd expect it to go. Two pretty passive lanes. Besides obviously the Blitzcrank hook is always looking, but these are just two like farming lanes. You clear the wave. Everyone tries to hard shove as best they can. Ooh, nice binding coming out of Reese Race there, and nice poke coming out of. Nice binding coming out of Verm. Trooper just dodging everything. He can't dodge the point blank blitz hook though. He did sidestep the Jarvan EQ, though. And Scoobs is here again, picking on Pichiku. And the dunk comes out. Aloe. Very nicely done. And Aloe looks like he is going into Stride Breaker and not the Gore Drinker. So it's 2 of the top lane turrets going down. For the side on the side of AAR. So the gold lead's still heavily in GGG's favor. Getting a return kill in the top lane, getting 2 turrets, puts them at a 2.3k gold lead. Nice plays all across the board for both teams, honestly. Nice rotation onto the trooper there. It looks like Scoobs is opting into the Eclipse build. I don't entirely agree with that. I think Gore Drinker would definitely be better into this team where they're just beef boys and you need to survive. Not you need to dish out consistent damage, not a burst of damage like Eclipse gives. So I think Gore Drinker would have been a lot better of a pick for the Xin Zhao. It looks like the side GGG did opt into lane swapping. Sending Darius into the bot lane, trying to get that turret down. Reese going top lane to solo farm, it looks like, which I think is also a really good play on the side of GGG. Reese is pretty far behind in CS. A 30 CS deficit is about, I'd probably say 8 to 1,000 gold, I think. Because like what? That's 5 waves. So 3 normal waves and 2 cannons. Yeah, so yeah, I'd say probably close to 1,000, 800 to 1,000 gold. So getting Reese Race in that top lane to get some solo farm and solo XP is definitely a good deal. Darius is pretty far ahead. If we look at the gold lead here, Darius has the most gold in the game. Aloe pretty fed on this Beef Boy champion. So yeah, the Ezreal is about 1,200 gold ahead of the Ziggs. Cody and Scoobs are about even, and Vigar has about a 1,200 gold lead on the Galio. So that's where all the gold lead is in terms of these 2 champions. Trooper's feet are just insane this game. You cannot hit this guy with anything. Nice TP coming out of Aloe, but he does walk back into the Galio knockup. He does get the dunk onto Cody, though, before he dies. Scoob is continuing to go. He has his team to back him up here. Nicely done. Nice blitz hook coming out of Buduf onto the Vigar. Wow. Spicy game. Oh, he misses, but he does get the auto. Nice. Nice pink ward to reveal the Vigar to get that last auto in. But it is still a 2 for 4. Nicely done by GGG. Taking those winning fights, getting those early picks. Like they caught Cody-san out, or not Cody-san. I keep saying Cody-san. They caught Cody as Tiny out, which is a really big deal. Jarvan is like their main initiation. If a Blitzcrank can't land the hook, Jarvan has to be the one to start these fights. If Aloe hadn't have walked into that Galio ult, I feel like he could have survived that fight as well. Aloe does have his Stridebreaker finished up here. He's looking for the multiple man pulls, which is where Stridebreaker falls in line. If you get a 2-3 man pull in Stridebreaker, those guys aren't getting out. Like 40% decreased movement speed is a pretty big debuff. And I think it lasts for 2-3 seconds. 2 seconds, 3 seconds? For 3 seconds. 40% movement speed debuffs for 3 seconds is a pretty big thing. So not only does he pulled him into his own team, he also slows him for 40 seconds, or for 3 seconds for 40%, which is a big debuff. Stovebraid solo pushing the bot lane here. not exactly where I'd want a Galio to be in terms of this team. But you kind of always want Galio in the middle. You know, you want Galio within range of pretty much your entire team. Nice preemptive flash coming out of Trooper there. Not looking to get taunted. Taunt means death going against this team comp with the Blitz. Aloe is here, though, and it looks like he's not looking to get anything out of it. AAR will start the Dragon up. Pretty ballsy move, knowing that the entirety of GGG is here, though. Nice Blitz hook coming out to stop Scoops from getting in. The Galio does come down, lands on the Scoops. AAR controlling this fight. Very nicely done. Wow, AAR, pretty decisive teamfight win there. And they secure the Dragon. The knockup does hit on the Trooper. Oh, Cody face tanks the entirety of Vygar's kit and still lives. Astounding play coming out of AAR. Securing the Dragon, getting 4 kills, clawing their way back in this game. The gold lead is still about a 1400 on the side of GGG. But AAR now have Soul Point, and it is Infernal Soul, which is pretty big with with AAR's team comp. Not only can they use it to poke with Ezreal, but the all-in damage is insane. Because Infernal Soul does an AoE burst, like a small AoE burst. So even if Cody EQs and then ults 3 of them, that's a massive amount of damage going on to 3 people with 1 ability. So Infernal Soul, you do not want Infernal Soul to get in the hands of AAR this game. So I would expect GGG to high prioritize these next Dragons. Sorry, guys. Alright, we're just gonna remove this. 2D is not a very nice guy. So going back, sorry about that. I was a little distracted. Let's take a look at this play here real quick. It looks like it looked like Stovray just dove. He tried his best to get out, but wasn't able to quite make it. Going back to the present. GGG took the tower after that. All right. Sorry about that, guys. 2D's a good friend of mine. He's kind of a rager, so sorry about all the asterisk cursing. All right, getting back to the game here. Nice rotation coming out of GGG. Got the solo, the 3-man dive onto the solo Stovray. Got the tower afterwards. Set up a lot of pressure with that bot lane turret going down now. AAR looking to start grouping here, it looks like. God, everyone's just bothering me today. One second. Nothing really going on right now anyway, pretty lax. Man, oh man, everyone's just... Leave me alone. Alright, so I sincerely apologize. Sorry. Alright. All right. Silence everything. Took the chat off. Is he still going? No. Okay. All right. And it looks like AAR, just Cody and Bidoof here trying to death camp this. They probably do have enough damage for pretty much anyone on the side of Trooper. Oh my god! He did that unknowingly. Very nicely done by Trooper. The Galliel does come down onto the Blitzcrank, but Blitzcrank will fall. Cody almost dead as well. Pichiku disrupting the backline here. Isn't able to get anyone though. Nicely done by GGG to pull back and take care of the Mundo. Ooh, flash cage coming out of Trooper. It will be a double binding. Very nicely done by GGG, taking control of this fight. Wow, GGG. Trooper, without even knowing. Oh, then the bind comes down. Wow, they're landing all their skill shots, but on the side of AAR, they can't land a single skill shot on the Trooper, even when he's not trying. Doesn't even realize it, but his fancy feet kept him alive the entire fight. Wow. I don't know if that's luck or just pure instinct. But GGG returning the favor. AAR had some pretty solid fights going up until that point. And then GGG returning the favor, getting one of their own, putting this gold lead at about 4K ahead of AAR, which is a significant gold lead. At this point, that sort of gold lead leads into bigger gold leads. This is a snowball gold lead. So I want to see GGG looking for these fights, using their gold advantage. That's a full item and a half on the side of GGG that they're ahead. So I want to see them use this gold and press their advantage. Scoob's going into the damage dealing build though. He has Blade of the Rune King and Eclipse. Interesting choice, honestly. He is pretty much assassinating like one target, but then he just almost dies instantly, which never feels good as an initiating jungler like that. Ooh, my God. There's so much actually to say. Scoob's getting caught out. The bind does land on the Stove Raid mid Justice Punch. And GGG just looking to peel out here. I honestly don't know if AAR have the damage to take this Baron. So Trooper a little bit off the mark with that cage. And Bidoof, mid-game Ezreal putting it to full use. Probably one of the highest dealing ADCs in the game, damage dealing ADCs in the game, going into the mid to late game team fights. Outside of like Xayah and Kai'Sa. So it looks like Darius is backing. I would assume he has his Dead Man's Plate, which will be a good pickup as well going into. I don't know. He chooses to go into the Bramble. Bidoof picking up the red buff. Cody being a good guy, giving his boss over. I would assume Cody is working towards a GA. Would be my guess. With that chain vest in his inventory. Mundo is working towards a Spear Visage. Pretty solid pickup, honestly, into the team side of GGG. Two heavy magic dealers in Ziggs and Vigar. The gold lead is slowly deteriorating, down to a 3.4. GGG not really pressing their advantage here. Oh my God, that cleaver damage. And Scoobs does get the Mundo passes, stops the knockup though. The Zigzag comes out. It will be a kill over to Reese Race. Aloe trying to do his best to do something here. The hook comes out. Oh my god, he's getting tossed around. And that will be Aloe going down. Nice rotation coming out of AAR there. To find a kill on the R side of the map. Oh, and the E does land. Scoobs realizing the trouble that he's in if he follows that. But that is the Ezreal down for the next fight. The only issue with that I see Etcham is this kind of damage. They probably could do it, seeing as they're pretty far into the game. But yeah, lacking quite a bit of damage. They, especially without since the Xin went into a more of a assassin type build rather than a tankier build. There's really no one that could have tanked that damage from the Baron. So it would have been a really risky play, I think. Wow. Oh my god, they're going all in for Kirbyus here. Aloe in the backline trying to disrupt. But oh my god, Hysterics goes down, keeps him alive. Big heal coming out of Aloe. Nicely done. Catching Kirbyus out. And the bind lands. Aloe is here to pick it up. Very nicely done. GGG coming out ahead. And they are making it a priority to get the... Ooh, and the pull goes over. Start the dragon now. Cody does not have his EQ combo. But looks like they are looking to still steal. Scoobs getting caught out. They need to just finish the dragon. Reese Ray's taking a lot of damage. He's going to die to the dragon. Oh, no, he gets it. Whoo! All right. Exciting stuff going on in this game. Whew. Very nicely done to get the pick onto the Ezreal there. I believe the Morgana bind landed first, and then the Vigard cage came out, and then the Aloe flash onto the Ezreal. Very good commitment coming out of GGG to get that kill and get the advantage right before the dragon fight. Aloe doing work this game, honestly. I know his KD might not be very good representation of how much work he's been putting in this game. Reese not killed a single time this game. Vermilion only died once. A combined KDA of 26 in the bot lane for GGG. That's actually insane. Those are insane stats. Reese does have a 600 gold bounty as well. Trying to think here. Pretty standard builds coming out for both sides. Jarvan did go into the GA like I thought he would, looking to just start these fights and possibly survive. Morgana going towards the Imperial Mandate instead of the Leandries. I think Mandate is totally fine on Morgana. Adds that little bit of extra damage after she CCs somebody. So I think that's perfectly fine, especially into the pick comp that they have. Vigor going into the Luden's Tempest. Luden's Echo or Tempest? Tempest. Which is interesting because I think Vigar with Everfrost is absolutely broken. Is absolutely broken, and I don't know. Could this game have gone a lot differently if he went Everfrost? Who knows? Xin Zhao finally getting a little bit of tankiness in his kit. He has the Sterix to keep him alive through that initial burst of damage. Zig's going for the double burn comp. It looks like he is trying to finish up his Rabadons now. Scoobs is here. The TP coming out. Verm is here to back him up, but who knows? Interesting. Oh my God, Scoobs is doing all the damage with that Blade of the Rune King build. Very nicely done. Cody is here, though. Aloe isn't able to buffer the J4 EQ, but he looks like he will try to chase down Cody here. He almost has full stacks. Full stacks going down. Gets that final hit, but I don't think Cody will burn. He does have full stacks fighting into Bidoof, though. Dodges the blitz hook. Nicely done. 1 for 2. GGG making moves. The gold lead still is diminishing, though. Well, it's at about 3.2, so about staying the same, even though they're still winning these fights. Vygar typically maxes E second because his W has a 1-to-1 ratio. So as long as you're getting stacks on your absolute power or whatever it's called, his W will always be doing damage. So just build items and get stacks of his passive, and his W will always do damage. So you max his E second because it goes down. I think once you have like 40% CDR, it goes down to like a 5-second cooldown with a 2-second stun. So you max his E second just for the sheer utility that brings. And you max his Q first, obviously. Typically. We can always take a look here as well. Let's see. Whoops. Yeah, so he maxes E second, and then Q third. Nice cage coming out to keep the stove raid out. And this is kind of the comp that GGG can afford to play. They have the double burn items on the Ziggs. If they can just land that. Trooper looking for the cage here. Isn't able to reach it. Aloe going in. Oh, Reese is caught in the back line. Nice flash out to avoid the damage from the Cody's from the ultimate. Another nice Vagar cage. The pull comes out for Aloe. Can he get a Q off to get some health up? He does. He's still in this fight. He gets a dunk down onto Pichiku. Vermilion is almost dead as well. Trooper super low. Scoobs will be taunted. He just has to walk out though. Oh no, he's going in for Bidoof. He gets the kill down. Trooper, can he do anything? The W lands, kills the Galio. Wow. These fights are insane. The flash EQ from Cody comes out, and he will go down. So Reese Race did live, keeping his perfect KDA alive. But it looks like this might be Soul going down over to AAR. Reese might be able to do something about it, but it's kind of hard to beat Smite. Actually, Cody does not have Smite. Reese probably doesn't know that, though. It looks like they're trying to stall for time. The TP coming out. It looks like it is Aloe. Aloe looking for the fight here. Big Ziggs ultimate burning down Bidoof and Cody, and they're able to successfully force them off the dragon. Nicely done by Reese and Aloe to delay that. Wow, these fights are getting insane, guys. Absolutely insane. Yeah, Reese just sees the poke. But AAR needs to use their team comp. Like, they need to get this initiation off. Aloe dodging the Ezreal, that's a big thing. The Noxian Guillotine does come down before Jarvan is able to EQ away. Ooh! Aloe getting a big cleave. Wow, GGG controlling this fight. It didn't help that Bidoof had to back out. He had no mana. He had no health at the beginning. Oh my god. Oh, the Morgana bind just barely ends. Oh, wow. GGG decimating these fights. And that has a lot to do with positioning, especially when you're playing a comp like this. The positioning of the backline is important. And Trooper and Reese are just positioning so well to control these fights. And it looks like they are going for more. They're going for the Baron. Do they have the damage, though? Scoobs is a little bit tankier now. But the question is about the damage. Oh, it looks like they're just getting melted. Holy crap, never mind. They have the damage. How many stacks does Vygar have? Vygar has 336 stacks. Vygar has almost 1100 AP. With only 3 completed items. That is insane. If I were Vygar, actually, I would go more into like a defensive build now. Go get something that makes you tankier. Get a Abyssal Mask. Get a Warmogs. Get a like a Frozen Heart. Something to keep you alive. Because even the more AP you have doesn't stop that Ezreal from one-shotting you if he gets there. So I would like to see Trooper build a little more defensively now, since he already has all that AP for the damage. But GGG making a statement. There are now almost 7k gold ahead. That is a huge deficit. But they need to end soon, because at about 45 minutes, that gold lead doesn't really mean much, because pretty much everybody is full build. So the GGG need to pressure their lead. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. A-ramming it down mid. Scoops does have his GA finish, so he can initiate these fights now. And Aloe just saying, screw it, I want this turret. And it looks like they do successfully take the turret. Scoops going in on Pichiku. Gets the knock up onto Bidoof. He just goes down. Oh my god. That Vygar W damage just destroyed Bidoof. Wow. That must have been like 1400 damage. Just nuked him. Holy crap. Trooper is doing so much damage here. And Reese Race does TP into the bot lane to get that wave shoved in so they can get this bot lane turret after they successfully got the mid lane inhibitor. And I don't think AAR can really do anything about this. If they can get the initial jump onto Reese and get him out of the fight, then they maybe can. But right now, I don't think AAR have much to do to contend this fight. They should know that Blitzcrank is up now, so I would expect GGG to kind of fall out. Take those wins. Like that's a pretty big win. Like take the win, regroup, set up for the dragon that's gonna be up here. What happened to my objective times? Alright, the fight is coming out. Scoops does take down Cody, even though Cody got the jump on him. And it looks like GGG is just letting Cody die. Oh yeah, Scoops die. That's totally fine. The mid lane super mains are pushing into the side of AAR. GGG are going to back out. Dragon will be up in... And this is so point for both teams. This is the most important dragon of the game right now. So both sides are looking to set up an advantage. That's a pretty big Baron power play on the side of GGG. They got 2 turrets and an inhibitor and some kills. So big money moves coming out of GGG. The gold lead is now about 8.2k. So, but again, the further this game goes on, the less that gold lead means anything. So GGG need to end this game. I think getting this Infernal Soul will definitely swing that in their favor. Because they are a pretty high damage team. So having 4 Infernal Dragons with an Infernal Soul, that is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. Like that, this team is not a team that you want all 4 Infernal Dragons on. Look at Vygar. Infinitely stacking AP. He probably has close to 1200 AP now. Yep, 1200 AP. He will one-shot anybody with his W. Ooh, good poke coming down to Trooper. And it looks like Stoverade is going in for the backline flank. Oh my god. Bidoof damage. Nice hook coming out. What is going to happen? Breaking the Mundo shield. That's a pretty big play. Mundo getting poked down. Aloe looking to go in, isn't quite able to get into range. And it is just one huge dance here. They know that whoever gets this dragon is more than likely going to win this game. So they're both playing it super safe. The E does come down. Scoob's getting... Cody getting hit by binding. Vermilion, it might go down here. He does not, though. It looks like Cody, GA does get blasted. Aloe trying to disrupt the backline as much as he can. Is successfully doing so. Another big cleave coming out to heal so much life. Oh my god, nobody is dying. The E, oh my god, does land. Very nicely done by Scoobs to get that. The flash in from Trooper to get the ult down. Scoobs going in on the Stoverade. But Pichiku is doing work here as well. Trooper looking for the kill on the Bidoof here. It looks like Reese is just looking to end. Did use his TP. Oh no, did he? No, I don't think he did. And it looks like Reese just ends the game. Very nicely done by GG. That last fight was just so adrenaline packed. Wow. Just wow. What a game coming out of GGG and AAR. What a game. Sorry, it's really dark. Sorry, let me turn on the light. All right. What a game, guys. That was so action-packed. That was so much fun to watch. So much fun to cast. Wow. Just wow. Oh. No, let's actually just leave that there. All right, it looks like we will be going into the second game right away here. That was a pretty long game. It's so long that I need to use the bathroom. So, give me 3 minutes bathroom break. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we are back. All right, ready. Let's pull up the draft law here. Wow, what an exciting game. Honestly, though, super exciting. Just really no words for that. Honestly, that was probably one of the most exciting games I've casted in the league so far. Oh, you hear the kitten? He's right here. See him? Say hi, Soot. He likes to sit on the back of my chair. All right. So I'm excited to see what AAR decide to do with that loss. Where they feel that game went wrong. Oh shoot. And he's out. He leaves as soon as he comes. All right, and the ban phase did start here. The Camille ban, pretty solid ban coming out. Trying to get Pichiku on something he's not comfortable with, like they did last game. So, nice ban. Pretty standard. It looks like the bans are pretty much remaining the same here. Yeah, really nothing to say right now because same bans. They might throw a Vigar ban at Trooper because that was that Vigar is pretty nasty. Like Trooper played that really well. They also might ban Ziggs here because Reese also played very well. So if I had to give an MVP in that game, it's really a toss up between Aloe and Trooper, I think. Aloe did so much in that game. Like even though he died quite a bit, but he did a lot of disrupting, keeping the backline off so that the GGG could play that front to back comp that they had. So honestly, a really tough choice, but I think I'd throw my MVP vote towards Trooper. Really fancy footwork, good cages, good catches, pretty much landing almost every single W, which is one of the hardest skill shots to land in the game, simply because it just takes so long. It's such a long wind up ability and it's easy to see, and it's hard to land if you don't have the cage. But he landed them even without the cage, so. I think Trooper definitely deserves the MVP in that game. Aloe a close second, a very very close second, and Ziggs will be coming out. I'm assuming for Reese again. I know that Scoobs was jungling last game, but I know he also plays Ziggs mid, so they might switch that around and put Trooper back in the jungle. It looks like Cody will be on the Xin Zhao and Kirby's on Callista. Callista is getting a buff next patch. I think it's a buff. I'm pretty sure it's a buff. The knock-up duration on her ult. You think Aloe? I think Aloe did a lot that game, and as like a top lane main myself, like I could tell that he was doing exactly what he needed to do. So I think, like I said, I think Aloe is a really close second, like a hair's breadth, like behind Trooper for the MVP spot. Poppy getting picked up for, I'm assuming Aloe, but I know Trooper also plays that in the jungle. So a lot of flex picks coming out here. It will be Vermilion on the Thresh, one of his signature champions. So he definitely got a comfort pick. It will be returned with the Nautilus. Kalista Nautilus is a pretty strong lane, so AAR definitely siding with the strong early game bot lane. And the Wukong ban coming out against Aloe as well. And what are they gonna choose? You might honestly just see. I was gonna say you might see 2 more bans thrown at AAR's mid lane. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Galio ban here, unless they're just not afraid of it. He had some really nice taunts. Like Stoverade had some really nice setup plays in that game. Just I don't know, they couldn't effectively pull off the fights, but Stoverade is good on Galio, so I wouldn't be surprised if I see a Galio ban here, just to try and kind of get Stoverade on something that he's not familiar with. Who knows? He might play mid lane Shen. Oh, the Fiora, going back to Pichiku's old days as a Fiora main. So 2 more bans coming out. Pichiku, 3 bans total. 3 bans thrown at the other enemy top laner as well. So let's see what Aloe picks here, or let's see what AAR pick for their mid and top lane. Seraphine for the mid lane. Another thing that Stoverade does play. I think did she get nerfed this past patch? I'm not sure. I think so, but still a pretty viable pick. Just a really strong enchanter, like the strongest enchanter I think right now, and brings a lot of utility to your team. Brings a lot of CC and a lot of damage, honestly. And it looks like that will be Scoobs on the mid lane Ziggs. Trooper Poppy jungle, I would think. Though the Poppy is a pretty good pick into the Kalista, so I think it is Poppy jungle. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's a Lily atop Poppy jungle. Can't really say for sure right now. That's a lot of flex pick. It could be Poppy top, but I think Poppy would definitely be better in the jungle in this scenario. Just to utilize her dash restriction all across the map, and there wasn't a pick. I don't know what's happening here, but it looks like it's a Kennen ban. Yeah, Kennen ban. Okay. Just let the time run out. It is a Kennen ban, though. I'm ready. So I think a pretty... throwing a lot of respect to Aloe there with the Darius ban. He, like I said, NA production. Aloe did a lot of work that last game, so that Darius ban was a respect ban. I'm pretty sure that's a Lily top. I cannot be 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure it's a Lily top. Because I know Trooper plays Poppy in the jungle. I know that. Like that is a known thing. I don't know if he plays Lilia though. Lilia is still a popular jungler or a good jungler. Even next patch, they're even buffing her jungle quite a bit and nerfing her top lane. But I don't know if Trooper plays her, so I'm a Lilia top, Poppy jungle. That's what I'm going with. On the side of AAR, they have a pretty because that last pick is Kennen. They have a pretty healthy mix of everything that can possibly fall into a team comp. They have the pick with the Nautilus and Xin Zhao and Seraphine. They have the good team fight ults with Nautilus and Seraphine. They have really consistent DPS with the and Kennen, the team fight ult Kennen. They have really good consistent DPS with Callista and Kennen. So AAR's draft is actually pretty solid. On the side of GGG, interesting draft. And I am looking at the picks here, and it is Trooper on Poppy. So that will be Poppy in the jungle. Which I am a personal fan of myself. I really like it, and I'm really excited for the Predator changes next patch, because Poppy jungle is gonna be lit. It's gonna be awesome with Predator. So that will be Aloe on the Lilia in the top lane. It will be a pretty rough matchup for Lilia into a Kennen. You can't really abuse him in lane like you want to as Lilia. It's kind of just like a farm fest. And Xin Zhao, I'm assuming, will put a lot of pressure on the Lilia as well. So she's gonna have to play really safe. Ezreal getting picked up again is no surprise. Typically, if it's not banned, it's picked. Ezreal has a really high pick ban rate, has a really high KDA rate, and I think a pretty high win rate as well. So, not surprised there. Yeah, I think GGG's team comp it's good. They have some good mid to late game team fights. Not a lot of early game pressure. So they kind of want to scale. I think Poppy should spend a lot of time in the bot lane, ganking AAR. Poppy just kind of does. Excuse me. Poppy just kind of does everything that you don't want a champion that's ganking you to do. She can stop a Nautilus hook, for one, in its tracks, essentially. Like if Nautilus hits his hook on a champion, she can use her W and it will stop Nautilus in his tracks. It will still pull the champion to where they would have met, but it will stop the Nautilus. So he won't be able to get his auto passive off, which is another big part of his CC. Poppy W will also stop any Callista jumping. It will stop Kennen Proto Belt. It will stop Xin Zhao E. So if Trooper can adequately use Poppy's kit, mainly her W, he can deny a lot of initiation and a lot of escape out of AAR. So I like the spiciness of GG's of draft. You don't see a lot of Poppy in the jungle. Lilia top lane has just recently become kind of a fad. So I like it. I think AAR has the stronger draft, but I think they also did last game too. So it all comes down to execution though. If you can't execute your team comp, you're not going to win. So let's see what they can pull out now. And we got about a minute before the game loads up, so I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. And just in time. Alright, we will be loading in here. Let's take a look at masteries here. Resource has a pretty high mastery on Israel, but everyone else kind of lackluster besides Thresh. Oh, didn't get to look at them all. Alright, first off, let's arrange. Okay, check the timers. Boom. Alright, looks like AAR is not going for their cheeky invade again. GGG going up for the 5-point setup. Poppy getting an early ward down, probably going back for a sweeper now, and that is exactly what they did. I think I can move this back up now. Let's put it right there. Kind of out of the way. Alright, let's take a look at keystones real quick. We got Area on the top lane of Pichiku. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Lilia kind of has the same range as like Urgot does. Like I think it's 350, so a little bit longer than melee champion, but not a melee champion. So the area can get some poke down. Zijiao going for the Conqueror, pretty standard. Still going for the Comet on this Seraphine. A ward will spot this cheese out of AAR. And we got the Halo Blades on Callista, which is also pretty standard. And we got Aftershock on the Nautilus. Up in the top lane on the side GGG, we have Conquer on the Lilia, which is also pretty standard. We have Dark Harvest on the Poppy, which is interesting. I think Aftershock is a little bit better. We got Arcane Comet on the Ziggs, pretty standard. Conquer and Aftershock in the bot lane, all pretty standard. Ooh, the Flay just misses. Very nicely done by Kirbyus. And the race for level 2 begins. And it looks like GGG is giving it up, which is to be kind of expected. If you don't think you're going to hit it, you kind of just want to play back. Vermilion misses his second Flay of the game. That's okay, though. That's okay. He didn't really lose anything off it either. Would have had a really nice poke, but that's okay. Reese misses 2 of that CS. That feels kind of bad. The Nautilus hook hits the wall, I think. Alright, they're finally level 2. Verm does have his death sentence, I think it's called. Ooh, Aloe misses the cannon. But CS lead is still in Aloe's favor. Pichiku decided to go for the call start, which is interesting. I guess if Lily doesn't have a lot of kill pressure on you, it doesn't really matter. If you don't have the health from the Doran's Blade. And Trooper spotting out the invade. Aloe doing a little bit to stall the cannon so that Trooper could get out. Alright. Early CS league going over to the side of Callista, going to the side of Ziggs and the side of Lilia, so a very slight gold lead in the start of this game. Not a lot to report right now, though. Everything's pretty passive. Nothing really going on. AAR pinging the bot river scuttle, but not in time. Trooper was able to get it. Trooper will not be double scuttled. He refuses. Aloe missing quite a bit of CS in the top lane here. Always feels bad. And he decided to go for the Doran's Ring start instead of the Pichi... Interesting choice out of Pichiku there. Aloe getting a little ballsy, staying in lane. Yeah, but I would say most Lilia tops tend to go for the flask. For this reason, like Aloe has no mana. Badoop doing his best to get the mini aggro on himself. Yeah, pretty passive game so far. Cody is here looking for a gank in the bot lane, but Reese did get an early back. Had enough gold for his tier and his sheen. That's his early game power spike. Scoops did decide to start with the tier, so he's not able to get his lost chapter just yet. Pichiku looking to freeze the lave. A little bit too many minions though. If you want to freeze this wave, guys, it's typically you want 4 casters, and I think he realizes that he's starting to thin it out now. There we go. He's doing it, but now he's autoing too much. So Pichu doing his best to freeze the wave there. Not gonna be able to do much though. Lily is back. She now has her flash, so she will be able to break that freeze. This is a 2-wave crash onto the bot lane to GGG. I'm surprised that Cody wasn't here looking for a dive. Ooh, weave the death sentence in between the minions, but isn't able to land. That would have been a pretty sick hook. Scoop's keeping the wave shoved in. Pretty much the best thing you want to do against a Seraphine, who has a pretty hard time farming under turret. I think she has like the lowest base attack damage in the game. Oh, yeah. Scoops almost stole. Another flay missed by Verm. He's just not on his game today. Scoops almost stole that scuttle away from Cody. So, well, things are a little lackadaisical here. Let's talk about some win conditions. I think AAR have a really easy win condition. Pretty much just get the Nautilus or the Xin Zhao in there, Seraphine ult and Kennen ult. That's pretty much their win condition. That's how they win these. That's how they win these mid to late game team fights. GGG is a little more complex than that. They're looking for extended team fights. They're looking for poke. They're looking for extended team fights where they can deal a bunch of consistent damage. So, which is a little bit, which is a little bit harder of a team comp to pull off than just the sheer outright, hey, go in, press R of AAR, which is historically the team comp that wins the most games in this league is that sort of team comp where it's like we play for the team fights. Most CC wins, that sort of thing. Aloe probably could have went for a kill there if I know Seraphine's damage correctly. I mean, Lily is damaged correctly. Seraphine doing her best to keep up in CS, but falling a little bit behind. Zig's able to just shove it in now that he has his tier in last chapter. Seraphine going with the blasting one. It's time to forego the initial mana regeneration of the lost chapter, because I would assume that she'd go into a Leandry's. So maybe that was just the highest damage that he could get for the gold he had. So red team did sneak the dragon there. Cody's been doing that this entire series, doing his best to get that level 1 dragon. Pichiku smelling out the Rift Herald here. Does come across him doing it. Aloe is here though. Back up. Trooper. Aloe can go for a kill here. And he knows it. Insane damage coming out of Aloe. Nicely done. Aloe knowing the damage that you can shove out with the Lilia pick top. The Trooper is here. Cody did show up. And it will be Cody going on the Trooper. Very nice W, but Cody does secure the Rift. And then Trooper will send out Cody. And it will be Stovray going down as well. I would assume that this will be Bidoof going down. Not before he takes down Trooper, though. Cody lands the W on to Thresh. Ooh. Bidoof making the grand escape. Oh. Bidoof gets out against all odds. Very nicely done. And the CS lead in the bot lane going over to the Kalista, even though she has not backed yet either. So once she does, though, Reese Race will be able to shove it in and make her miss a wave, possibly closing that gap. One v one against Kalista, though, she doesn't really need those items, and I think Bidoof knows this. He is going for the kill. Interesting choice, though. He knows Reese doesn't have mana, but this will be a 1v1 going over on the side of Reese. Very nicely done. Kirby is getting a little ambitious there, using his Rend a little too soon, not getting a whole lot of damage off of it, and all he had was a Doran's Blade. So, a little ambitious out of Kirby's there. The flash hook coming out of Vermilion, he lands one, gets the flay down. The Ezreal does not land, but this should be Silveray going down. Nicely done by Trooper and Verm. Getting that pick. Gold lead about a K ahead on the side of GGG. Controlling this early game. Wow, that is a lot of damage coming out. Early Sork Shoes with a Hextech Alternator. Right? That's what it's called, right? Yeah. Hextech Alternator does a lot of damage with that Q poke. And as a level 9 cannon, that is a max rank Q. It looks like Trooper is looking for the top side here. Kennen is not an easy person to pull gank off. Oh my god, very nice hook coming out of Verm. This will be Bidoof going down. Will Verm go down as well, though? It looks like he just might. He will. I would assume that this will be Bidoof going down again. There it is. So 1 for 3 all across the board over the side of GGG. Nicely done. Fabulous hook coming out of Verm there. Scoots pushing Stovray in. Will this be a kill? It will not. Will the burn him down, though? It will. Scoops gets the solo kill on to Stovray. This might be Reese just going down. Cody-san hold. I did it again. Cody-san. Cody holding onto his W to try to slow the Ezreal down. Very nice sidestep from Cody. Ezreal would have killed him. Nicely done by Reese, too, though. So this early game is definitely, ooh, and the Ignite goes out. It will be Reese going down to Bidoof. Lantern might take you out of the damage, but Ignite will follow you. Dragon will be spawning in 45 seconds. Reese Race will be back up and will be able to get there. I would assume that Cody will be respawning here in response to the Dragon. He will. Bidoof clearing out some vision. Reese will be spawning. He will be back in time for the Dragon, though. So, no TP. What was that? Huh. My cat just freaked out. There is no TP for either side. So they're going to either have to let it be a 4v4 or they're going to have to move down here soon. Reese is doing a preemptive arcane shift. Make sure he doesn't get caught out. Nice sidestep by Aloe. And the Dragon is being started by GGG, and it will be secured. Verm getting caught out, though. It gets the flay onto Bidoof. Wow, that's a lot of damage coming out of the Poppy. Ezreal just barely misses. The Dragon is secured, though. Nicely done by GGG to sneak that one. Good job on the side of AAR to pick up a kill and conciliation. Ooh, Bidoof. Will Poppy build a land to E? Oh, the burn will take him down anyway. Wow, that is the second time in this game that an ult didn't kill him, but the burn did. Nicely done by Scoobs to know his damage there. He's looking for more. Scoobs. Wow, he is. This might just be another solo kill on the Silverhead. Oh, and it will! Silverhead flashed forward instead of to the side. He was not able to avoid the bomb. Pichiku putting a lot of pressure on Aloe here, though. I'm surprised that bomb radius actually hit Stoverhead. That was interesting. Stoverhead having a rough go of it this game. Just kind of getting picked on. Nothing against him, but that's kind of the weakness of Seraphine. Nice flash from Scoobs. We'll get the Lantern out. Nicely done. So Scoobs decimating this early game. Definitely like putting his own pace on the game. The TP does come out. Reese is in trouble. Can he he arcade shifts too soon. He does get hit by it, but can he make it out? I think he might just be going down here. He is looking to get a kill on the Bidoofa. It doesn't happen. Arcane shift just a little too soon from Reese, but that's okay. And it looks like he is opting towards the Duskblade build this game. He did build into an Essence Reaver. And he does have the Caulfields. So I think this might be a Duskblade build coming out for Reese. Haven't seen that in a long time. Wow, that damage. That Ziggs is doing so much damage this early in the game. This might be a dive coming out onto Aloe. Oh my god. The sleep plus the hook. That was just perfectly executed by the side of GGG. A perfect dive. And Cannon's a really scary one to dive because his ult and his E just allows him to reposition so well while stunning you. So perfectly done by GGG. But it looks like AAR are looking to do the same. No one cares about the support fight. I'm looking for this dive. And it's not even going to be a dive because this will just be... Ooh, and Bidoof ults the other Bidoof to get him out. Nicely done. Clean dive on their side as well. Reese is here looking to... It looks like Seraphine did fall again. Reese is here looking for a kill. Ooh, Cody. Cody's looking. But he's deciding to back off. Nicely done on both sides. Two very clean dives. Nicely done by GGG to catch Seraphine in the jungle as well. Let's take a look back while there's a lax here. It looks like Verm did catch the Seraphine in the jungle here. She tries her best to get out and is weaving, dipping and weaving, but you can't outrun a Lilia that is constantly stacked. Nicely done by GGG to catch that pick. So Seraphine is deciding to go into the Luden's Tempest. Pretty late finish for your Mythic at 18 minutes. TP coming out. Ezreal will hit. Oh my god. Aloe doing work. Nicely done. That was a double TP. And this will secure the dragon in 30 seconds. But both Bidoof will not be up for it. I think AAR can still fight for this, but they have to time their ults perfectly. Seraphine would have to get a really good ult off of Xin Zhao engage in order for Kennen to get in there. But it doesn't look like they're going to try and contest. Ooh. Nice hook coming out of Verm. Aloe is looking. Aloe does a lot of damage. So does Trooper, though, for that matter. Oh, will Cody be able to pick up a kill? He will not. He will go down. Scoobs is at the back line just to secure that kill as well. It looks like Scoobs will... Oh, Scoobs. Scoobs might be in trouble here. They are spotted, though, on a ward. Ooh, it goes over the wall. Nicely done. Zigzag comes out. Isn't able to burn down the... Ooh! Will the burn kill? Nope. Oh, my God. Nice finish coming out of Verm. It looks like Bidoof is just going to look for a kill onto Scoops here. And it looks like it will go down. I think that's like the 4th time this game Bidoof has secured a kill right before he died. So, good job on him. Trying to make the best of a bad situation. But that will be a 1 for 2 on the side of GGG. And GGG just dominating this early to mid game. AAR is going to have to find some way to staunch this bleeding. There's a 5k gold lead at 20 minutes. That's really significant. GG taking their victories and getting out. They probably got a lot of gold to spend here. 1,300, 1,200, 1,700. So about half items for each of them. And Aloe once again doing work. Scoobs also doing a lot this game. For those of you that think that Aloe was the weak side to GGG, you might be wrong. I don't know, with how many hooks that or flays that Verm has missed this game, it might just be Verm. Might just be Verm. But no, Verm has had some outstanding hooks as well. Everybody on the side of GGG are just playing their hearts out, looking for this 2-0 against the former season champions. Nice, and it happens again. Stoverade flashing forward in a narrow corridor. Nicely done by Reese to get that kill. And it looks like the Baron will be started up here. Kalista is not here. This is the perfect time to do it. They saw the Kalista bot lane pushing the wave in and decided to throw all their eggs into this basket. Kenna is not moving from the top lane either. He probably thinks he has time. It looks like Verm will try to stall here. And the Lily Sleep comes out but only lands on Cody. Pichiku, huge ult. Oh, nicely done. But the Lily damage is all there. This is insane. The AoE damage coming out from the side of GGG is just massive. And the lobbing bomb hits. Bidoof takes him out. Cody doing his best to clean up what he can out of this fight. Stoverade late TP in, but I think he just respawned. Looking for a redemption kill here. Wow, so much damage coming out of Trooper there. Nicely done. Honestly though, that was a really nice play by Pichiku. But the Lily and the Zig's AoE damage is just too much to handle right now. You're just trying to zig and zag. You're trying to stay inside Lilia's swing, so you're not taking true damage. You're trying to avoid bombs. Like, you're trying to avoid Ezreal Qs, flays, hooks. Like, it's pretty much... AAR pretty much playing a mini game at this point. Let's take a look at items real quick. Reese Race doesn't even have a mythic yet. He is going into the Essence Reaver Mirror Mana, which is still a really strong... mid-game power spike. Every Q he throws out does 157 extra damage. That's pretty plus the 77. So he's doing almost 250 extra damage with his Q every time he lobs it, pretty much. Oh my God, very nice stun coming out of Trooper, and a nice ult coming out of Scoobs to clean up both kills. Bidoof here trying to make a move. The Lily ult only going down on the cannon. Bidoof trying to save the other Bidoof. Bidoof stick together. Bidoof's forever strong. Oh my God. Very nicely done. Reese Race dueling the Bidoof on the end. 2 Bidoofs. Same Bidoof a lot. And it looks like both Bidoofs will fall. That will be a 1 for 5. And GGG just expanding this lead. It looks like Red tried to surrender, but they're not having it. Baron will fall at 24 minutes, expanding the gold lead to almost 9K. 8K gold lead, actually. So 8K, yeah, man, whatever. So GGG are now going towards the Dragon now, picking up the next objective on their list. Stoverate is here. And oh my god, he just gets bursted by the Trooper. Wow. That Divine Sunderer Poppy does so much damage. But Seraphine is also really squishy, so can't say it does that much damage. Very nice hook coming out of Verm onto the Pichiku. He will go down. Wow. GGG not letting up in the slightest. Not even Cody can handle Trooper at this point in the game. Nice little duel going on here. Wow, he just takes him out with that Divine Thunder proc. And it will be a 0 for 5. Clean ace coming out of GGG after a 1 for 4 at Baron without even backing. Wow. Complete and utter decimation coming out of GGG. Complete control. And I believe this will just be the game. GGG are looking to end. Stoverate is on the back end. He's looking. Oh, but he stands in front of the inhib and he just gets one shot by the Trooper. Oh my god. What an utter decimation coming out of GGG. Very nicely done. And I believe that is the game. It froze up, so I'm assuming the game's over. We will just leave. Wow. So that first game was very, very close. The second game, not so much. GGG just pulling out all the stops and just taking the game by the reins. Very nicely done. So if any of you have watched me shoutcast these games, I like to go into the chat and talk to the captains. We will see if they want to do that.
Could have gone either way, really.
Can I?
Game one was
Game one actually was close,
dude.
So hard
Guys, game one was probably the most exciting game I've ever casted for this league. That was legit a great. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Can I grab the captains real quick?
Yeah, Ben, stay here.
Our captain left.
Oh, your captain left.
Oh, no, don't let
Yeah.
him do that.
Kirbyus, you want to fill in?
Sure.
All right. All right, guys. So first off, like I said, that first game was fucking crazy. Like that was a really exciting game to watch. So congratulations on that. Yeah, great game. So Kirbyus, what do you think happened with these games?
Game one, I think we drafted ourselves into a corner. We had no scaling really, and we had 4 tanks and an Ezreal, and they had a Vygar, Ziggs, Morgana as well, all scaled great, and so we needed that Infernal Soul to have a hope.
Oh yeah, the Infernal Drakes is not something you want on a Vygar.
Yeah, no, the 3 they had, like,
yeah,
they just
true.
got so much value out of every Infernal Soul they took, and then just kept scaling and scaling, and we stopped scaling like 10 minutes in the game, so we just got outscaled, and then we didn't play some of the Drake fights as well as we should have. Some big binds came in. I don't think we ever got anything with our Blitzcrank really at all either. I know no hooks landed in lane.
Well, I mean, no one could hit Trooper with a skill shot, so
Sure.
like that guy had some fancy feet.
He got popped by a couple of Ezreal Qs in the mid game where he's like, oh, I'm not allowed to be up here.
yeah, I was like, I did a lot of damage, but it wasn't a lot to Darius, and Darius was huge.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, as I was saying in that first game, I think for the MVP of the game, like I had Aloe and like Aloe up there. Like he did
Yeah,
exactly
he was crazy.
he did exactly what he needed to do, and so perfectly done by Aloe.
I was
That was
hyping
good.
him
It was a
up.
good
There was
pick,
one
too.
drag fight where I was like, I hit a weird binding on across a really long wall on Israel, and no one was in their right
No,
mind. He was like,
Aloe flashed in.
yeah, he flashed immediately. I just start screaming, and he just flashes immediately. I'm like, didn't even think about it. Into 5 people. I'm like,
That was on the
Hey, yo,
Kirbyus.
Alex, holy
That
shit.
was on the
Yeah.
Kirbyus. Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
I couldn't move. I couldn't move at all.
Kirbyus
I
was by
like,
far like I was terrified. As soon as like they got Ezreal and we didn't really have really good engage, we had a couple of pick things, but like Morg Q in most like instances doesn't hit Ezreal, right? Like I have to like find weird long walls or blind spots, otherwise like there's no way he gets hit.
Yeah, that one
and
you
a
hit
lot
was
of the time-
second Drake, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And it
And
nailed
but other than that, I was sweating so hard. I'm like, guys, we need something to be able to deal with Ezreal. And then we picked Veigar, and like I was like, oh man, we have nothing to get.
Zen,
Ezreal.
honestly.
Yeah, it was Zen.
Zen was all over me, and he was full lethality, so he actually could blow me up.
Yeah, I was
even-
surprised
Yeah.
because I didn't know he built that. Honestly, I was
Yeah,
like,
and
how is he doing this?
I was actually
Shocked too.
I was actually concerned when I saw it. I was like, "What? He has an Eclipse and a Blade of the Room King. He's just gonna die." like, but no,
He
he.
actually had to. If he didn't, I think we don't
I
win.
mean, I think he did, but he didn't really need to be tanky because again, we had no
Yeah.
damage. All he
Yeah.
had to do was assassinate me.
That's
He
true.
went,
That's
like,
true.
Full lethality, and he did. And he-
Right.
But also, like you guys got so far ahead. So in a situation like that, I could see that. But
when
it-
he was yeah.
Yeah,
I
it-
think that Jarvan. I think Top was always behind in that one. The Darius started
yeah,
like solo killing Mundo.
and Aloe had a lot of good TPs. He got a double kill in the mid lane. Got that early
Yeah.
kill in the bot lane river. So he
Then he took to the 2 turrets super early.
Yeah.
That's a ton of money.
Yeah.
Aloe played insanely that game. So
That
Verm,
was game 1.
that was game 1. Yep.
And the game 2, we ran it. Ran it hard.
Ran it hard.
Yeah, the Zig swap with the Ezreal was good too. I think that was a good move during draft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, we ran it real hard.
I think that you had some like I don't think it was just running it. Like I think that Peter, until we made like a really big play top lane, Peter was actually winning really hard top lane, and like we were just forced to like sit around and do nothing bot lane. I think Josh had a bit of a rough game.
That's better
Specifically.
for you guys though. You know, we're playing the Callista lane, and so we have to go aggressive. And I was up like 15 CS. And
So-
that's not good enough.
So I have a question for you, Kirby's. So you had 92 CS. You had a Doran's Blade.
Oh, we had
The 1v1? Yeah.
that
I got a part of it was honestly I got bored just like farming with Ezreal for like 5 minutes while everyone was fighting topside, and I was like I felt like I needed to do something. I knew he had items, I knew I didn't, and I was like, well, I hit the combo to slow him and still keep my rend after because I hit a minion with it, so I got my rend reset off the minion and damaged him to slow him. He had no E, so I was like, I think I can at least try, and maybe if he misses a Q or 2, I can actually win it. And then he just didn't miss a Q or 2.
and then he just didn't.
Yeah, and then he proceeded to hit the 2 Qs that he whipped out, and I was like, oh well, shit. But yeah, so that was not good. But I had like 3,000 gold in my pocket.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you did. With 92
Yeah.
CS not backing once. Yeah, you probably had close to a full item.
I wanted to back, I think, a couple times there, but then he stayed, and I was like, well, he stayed. I feel like I have to stay with the way the waves are, and like I can't hold him here. I can't fight him. I can't push. It was very awkward. I tried to reset a couple times and then changed my mind.
Well,
Probably should have just left early.
yeah, probably.
earlier.
Ezreal backed as soon as he had 1100 gold, and then he
he
just
backed immediately.
yeah. So Verm,
Yeah.
what possessed you to allow Trooper on the Poppy in the jungle?
Allowed, man. I was rooting for him.
Dude, I love
that,
Poppy
man.
jungle, dude. I love Poppy jungle.
I am just all over Poppy as a champion, dude. I saw what they pick. They picked Xinjiao and Kalista.
Yeah.
Really? I'm like, hey, 2 dashes, perfect. Give me the Poppy, man. We're gonna cut some dashes. I love Poppy for that reason.
So, question for your team, Berm. When do you guys decide that, like, hey, let's put Trooper mid and Scoobs in the jungle this time? Like, what's kind of like the deciding factor for that?
It's like what champion, like it's different every time. It's like champ pool based. So this time it was, we knew we wanted the Ziggs, but they picked Callista, which we figured was an impossible matchup for Ziggs because she can just dance around and never get hit by anything. I mean, maybe it's okay, but we mostly just didn't feel super good about it. So we're like, okay, we want Ziggs mid, which means like Trooper doesn't play Ziggs, so that means we have to put Scoobs on it in mid lane, and he likes the champion quite a bit. So we're
Oh yeah, he did. He had insane damage. He did almost 1,000 damage a minute.
Yeah, he did
Like,
a lot of damage.
yeah, that's a lot of damage. So,
yeah. So then it was just a matter of like, okay, well that means that we have Spencer jungle, which worked out really nicely because he plays Poppy and the other one doesn't. So it's like, okay, we can play the Poppy, which I want. We get the Ziggs, which we first picked, and we didn't want to overload our draft with AP, and we had been thinking about the Lilia, which means we need a traditional AD carry, so we grabbed Ezreal.
fair enough. Well, it worked out in the end. 2-0'd the last season's champions. So,
That part doesn't feel not good, to be honest.
Kerbis, you guys have been struggling quite a bit recently. You guys got any plans to get back into shape here?
Oof. That's an ouchy question.
Well, I mean, it's a truthful question.
No, I know.
I think our team, we're just gonna have to shake things up a lot, and see what happens.
Try to have some fun, not be so serious. I know some of the guys on your team can be really serious. So,
Yeah, that's me.
I was trying not to say that. No, I didn't mean that as an offensive question at all. It was just like,
No, it's a question.
yeah, I was just going by the last couple of games that I've casted for you guys. Been
That's
just
a fair question.
yeah, it seems like a lot of like the communication doesn't seem to all be there. So hopefully
We're
you guys
definitely not informed to what we were at the end of last season. That's for sure.
yeah. Well, hopefully you guys can get back into that so we can have a really spicy playoffs.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And thanks for playing. That was really really fun to watch. Really fun to cast.
Yeah, thanks for casting.
Thanks,
man.
man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Yep.
All right, guys. With that, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. Yeah.